Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a wizard guide in season 2 for Diablo Immortal. Today, to give that wizard guide, we have my buddy Scratch here, who is the wizard for Aftershock United. How are you doing today?
Yo, what's up, buddy? Doing pretty good. Excited to be here. Talk
Welcome
a bit
back.
about the wizard.
Welcome back to the game. I know you were gone for what? You had vacation for about a week, so you got some Paragon levels to catch up. But
oh yeah, I mean, I had a pretty long vacation. It might be one of the longest vacation I ever had, actually. So I've been away for like 3 weeks, and I'm still getting back into it because I have so much stuff going on IRL, you know. So I'm trying to catch up with the game, but I find it so hard. So I still have like a couple of chaotic days, and then I can finally breathe down and start catching on the Paragon level with everybody, and just get back onto the daily grind, you know.
Now, you're playing Wizard, which is the class that I have debated with myself that I've really wanted to play. So I'm going to be curious about this guide myself. So what I was hoping we could do today is we're going to go through the skills, then the legendary items, the sets, and legendary gems that you run on your Wizard build and why. So if you don't mind, with that being said, why don't you go ahead and tell us what skills you're going to be using?
Yes, we're going to start with the skills. So I'm quickly going to say a couple of things before. I was really debating as well. Should I take the Wizard? Maybe I shouldn't take the Wizard. But honestly, I have zero regrets. I'm having so much fun, and I feel like none of the other classes would actually top the Wizard off for me, you know? I don't think they would make me change my mind with any of the existing classes. So at the moment, I'm using Electrocute over the Magic Missile as a primary attack. I feel I'm playing with the controller on the PC, on the mobile. They have zero aim assist on the Magic Missile, you know? So all those shots are so bad. The aiming is so poorly designed that I cannot really run that skill properly, so I'm going with an Electrocute. I wish we would have a few more better weapons for this skill for the Wizard. Unfortunately, we only have one, and it's not that amazing. Magic Missile actually has quite a few, but unfortunately, it's not that great. The feel of playing it with a controller. Maybe mouse and keyboard might be a bit better, but I haven't actually tried it.
Now,
out like
I know
that.
somebody mentioned this for the Demon Hunter guide, but do you use the manual aiming? I know there's an option where you can kind of remove the auto targeting and put on the manual aiming. Do you use that for Wizard, or do you find yourself using the default?
Bro, I'm with the default. I haven't even noticed if there's anything to change like that. I know I tried a couple of things to adjust like sensitivity and stuff like that, but what was happening is my controller was kind of like getting blocked, constantly moving my character onto a side, like drifting, you know. I think that's how it's called for the controllers. And then I had to actually look out what was the problem, and I had to keep it on a specific number to avoid that. So it kind of messed up a bit the whole sensitivity situation, but I haven't found any options where would have a bit of an auto aim on it, because a controller should have an auto aim, you know.
Yeah, because you're using controller. That would make sense. It's more of a mouse and keyboard thing. Okay, so go on.
So the build that I'm using most of the times for PvE on the Wizard is like a Firestorm build. It gives you a lot of mobility. It allows me to move around while I'm dragging the enemies, seeing them, you know. So in terms of skills, I have the Arcane Wind, which together with the Meteor is actually going to create a Firestorm, which gives us a bit of extra damage. Plus, we got a bit of a buff now on the Arcane Wind, dealing more damage. And I'm running the Black Hole. I feel like the Black Hole is such a powerful skill, regardless PvP, PvE, just being able to crowd control everybody in the room there, just get them all together is amazing. Not only for me to drop the Meteor straight after and go in with an Arcane Wind, but if I'm playing with friends, like if I have a Barbarian who's going to go and do some crazy skills, or another class, is allowing us to create such crazy combos. Like, I know with Barbarians, we always used to have so much fun. Like, I just used to throw in the Black Hole, the Meteor, and he just used to go in and spin like crazy, you know, and wreck all the mobs. It was pretty fun like that, yeah.
So is there with this skill set you're using the Wind, the Black Hole, the Meteor, and the Teleport, is there particular legendary items that you have to have with this build, or would you mind showing us those variants as well?
Absolutely. So actually, there are some very good legendaries that give you extra Arcane Wind, so you're constantly able to drop that on the enemies. So in terms of a helmet, the best one to pick right here is the Cowl of the Abyss. That's what we're using. We have a bigger radius for the Black Hole, at least for the build that we have right now. For shoulders, we actually have the Shoulders of the Cataclysm. We increase the damage from the Meteor by 10%, which is definitely very, very good. The chest piece, unfortunately, for the Wizard are not great, you know. So this one, I don't have it unlocked just yet. The Meteor radius increased by 20%. That will actually be great to pair nice with the Black Hole being increased as well, you know, so he's going to have a bigger radius. hopefully I'm going to unlock it soon. The rest that I have are pretty useless. So I just have a random one that I keep for PvP. I'm not changing that one at all. In terms of pants, I'm actually keeping the Rift Dancer Stride. Teleports now targets a location where it also damages all nearby enemies. Now, I could change it for the Meteor one, but I like to have the other one because it can come as a clutch, not only when I'm trying to chain massacre kills and damage enemies and try to kill them. So I'm keeping that trick up, but a lot of times it just gives the right damage that I need, even in PvE, when I'm jumping straight into the middle of the fight,
Do you,
For weapons,
real quick here, because I noticed that the other one that you're talking about removes the stun from the meteor. Do you find yourself using the meteor very often for the stun with Chip of the Stone Flesh? I know we're going to talk about legendary gems in a moment, but do you find yourself not using the pants because of that reason? The ones that removes the stun?
No. I've just like the other ones that deal damage for some reason. I prefer that one over this, yeah. So I'm not actually even using the Chipstone Flesh at the moment because I gotta rank it up a bit higher. So I have slightly better gems that are ranked higher, and like that I can have a better resonance all around,
Okay, just wanted to know for my own personal, because I'm actually debating on Wizard. I got level 48 Wizard. I'm working on it.
But
so then,
for the pants, we actually have quite a few decent options, so you can definitely play it around a bit more, up to your own preferences. Like you can even get more damage for the Arcane Wind by 10%, which...
More wiggle room in the pants then. Okay.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. For the weapons, again, we could run a couple of different weapons. What I chose to run is Devastation. So this summons a tornado that moves into a straight line. It no longer charges up, The thing with the wind skill is that you always had to charge it up if you were using a different weapon, and that took a bit of time. You weren't able to constantly do it properly to make sure you're catching the Firestorm. Like this is much better. Plus, I'm getting an increased charge. So I have 2 charges just from here. This one is another good option as well. Wind Shaper. Arcane Wind now summons a tornado that follows enemies. And constantly dealing a bit of damage there in the path. So it's pretty good as a weapon. And right here, we're actually using the Unrepentant Gale. It gives me another Arcane Wind. So basically, I'm going to have 3 charges of that skill, which is pretty nasty.
So I'm assuming your cycle of abilities is you group up a bunch of people with Black Hole, you dump the Meteor on them, you Arcane Wind, which triggers the Firestorm, plus you're spamming the Arcane Wind on, then you teleport to a new pack, right? And kind of rinse and repeat?
Correct, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
So then, sometimes I even do a teleport, I'm dropping it, and then bang, moving around, Firestorm, and all this gives increased damage,
Seems like it would be a pretty strong PvE, like overworld farming type of build then. If you're looking for pure damage, what kind of sets are you running then with this? Or because you're using Black Hole, or are you using the Loss of Control one? You find yourself more prone to the damage? I don't really see any buffs, so I'm sure you're not really running stuff like Vithu's Urges or something.
No, I'm going more in terms of sets with the Wind Love Perfection. I feel like that fits all around. I'm trying to farm actually to try to get to my 4th piece. Hopefully it's going to happen this week.
Okay, so you're doing the set then that gives you movement speed from when you kill things is essentially the set you're going for?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Is there any other sets that you think you could recommend for people? Or is that like the only one? I know this is overworld farming, but do you think there's any other ones? Like I know the continual damage, the channeling damage, and the ground damage.
I was going to go to that one. That's the other one that I would probably recommend. The name is kind of like escaping me right now.
I think it's called the Flagellant or something like that.
It might be, but that's my second option for the Wizard. I feel like the rest of the sets, they don't really fit well with the Wizard whatsoever,
Yeah, it could probably be harder, I'm sure. Maybe the primary attack one, maybe, but I guess it's all about the burst damage anyway. So yeah, I could see why it's not so great. Okay, so then that's the sets then. So legendary gems, let's talk about and see what legendary gems you're using with this.
So I have the Power and Command gem. A lot of people don't tend to like the gem a lot for some reason, but I feel like it's a very powerful gem. It's only a 2-star one, but every 9 seconds, changing it between the primary or a skill damage is actually very solid, to give you the increased damage. I have the Lightning Core as well. This is pretty solid too for a PvE, not as great for a PvP. Here, if you're going into massive groups of enemies, constantly attacking you, then you're going to be able to just drop a chain lightning attack, dealing tons and tons
Yeah, I
of
can see
damage.
that being pretty good for overworld farming, because like as you're running around a circle, you just constantly
Constantly running into them,
that.
you know. Then I have the Sipping Vial. Pretty much everybody knows how powerful is this gem.
Staple.
The poisons, the damage that we're getting. And I have the Perfect Fang. I've actually seen your stuff about about the mistake that you've done. I realized that this was a Battle Pass exclusive gem. And I know when I said it in a video, I had a few people saying, no, it's not true. So I was like, okay, maybe I was wrong about it. But I've never got one myself.
You can get in the Boon of Plenty also, is what people say. And then some people say you can get it from the Boon of Plenty
and from the Battle Pass.
Yeah.
Crafting as well.
Well, that's what they say.
One, maybe.
I don't know if it's true, because it doesn't show in there when you try to like click get more. It doesn't show in crafting. But that's what I've seen some comments saying. You can get it from crafting too. So anyway.
Then I have the Bloodsoaked Jade. Again, a very powerful gem, pretty hard to get, pretty hard to rank up. And here, I actually have the Blessing of the Worthy now. This again is, I gotta take damage. So because I'm teleporting and I'm constantly jumping in between the groups of enemies and stuff, I'm getting damage quite a bit. And it does help me a bit, but the main reason is for the resonance. So I could probably put a different gem that will give me a better...
Stone Flash or something else in there,
Something
Bloody
else I could use.
Reach for a 2-star maybe.
Yeah, but the whole idea is that it's giving me a lot of resonance, so that makes me a bit more powerful. Because if we're looking right now at the stats that I have, you see, combat rating is 1,900. I know I'm a bit behind the normal one now. It's like, 2,500 to 3,000 combat rating, generally for the people that are grinding daily. But how I've been missing quite a bit in the last 1 month, I'm a bit behind with the combat rating. Gotta get it back on track, you know. And I'm going to show you my gem, charm as well, sorry.
Look at
so
you.
I actually have a max one.
You got all mage charm. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so I'm pretty solid on this one. I wish I would get slightly higher ones, but it's so hard to get them. So I kind of gave up now that I maxed this one. So the whole idea is I'm just selling them, you know.
They're super expensive too. Like they're 2,500 per chance, and then you got to try to roll them with like 10%, etc. It's pretty crazy. If you can get 10% though, it's a banger. Like you can get some massive extra damage. But the charms are actually pretty hilarious. Okay, so I think we covered skills, legendary items, sets, and legendary gems. At the end here, is there anything you would like to tell other wizards? Is there any skills that maybe don't work the way that their text says it does? Is there any interactions or PvP strategies or anything like that you feel like the other wizards should really know about?
PvP strategies. So I know it's very popular to play the battle mage, right? Go with the scorch and stuff. I kind of have a slightly different approach on it. I like to mix it up a bit. So let me just see if I have it right in my armor, because here we're constantly, whenever I'm changing a piece of gear, this goes to crap. I'm not a big fan of the armory all around. So the PvP mage I kind of play it slightly different. So instead of running like the Scorch, I actually have slightly different skills on it. Seems like my legendary gear is actually messed up a bit here. Probably I overwrite it with something else without paying attention. But I'm running the slow time, or I'm running the black hole to CC while I'm doing damage. So kind of like a hybrid and on the battle mage, you know, rather than just have the pure battle mage. And I'm trying not to run the black missile as much, just for the simple fact that it does help you in a longer range, you know, to catch up on the enemy. But it's so hard with the controller to aim that I'm trying to stay away from it as much as possible. You know, I'm not sure if they changed anything since I've been away, and maybe the aiming is a bit better. I haven't noticed it to be better, you know. But
well, there you go.
Feels a bit better.
So then maybe if you are a mage, consider trying some other skills for PvP, and don't just copy paste the same ones. I know everyone likes to use Ice Crystal and, you know, the rays and all that, but maybe try a couple new ones, Slow Time and Scratch. Where can they find you in case they're trying to find some more wizard content?
On a Scratch, Diablo Immortal. That's what I'm doing my guides for Diablo Immortal. I'm trying at the moment to put a video every second day. Hopefully from next week, I'm going to be back to a daily video, you know.
Understood. Thanks so much, Scratch. You can find him in the pinned comment or in the description. We love you all. Thanks for coming by, and see you in the next one.